Welcome guys. I know it's been a little while since I have been on here, maybe more than a week, and I try to do it every week, but you know what, I decided to come and pay a visit to my nephew and his family in Orlando. And as you can see, I'm in a lovely setting here and I'm really enjoying it, and I've just been kind of kicking back and relaxing and just taking a breather because going back to Canada to face the winter months ahead. Can't tell you I'm looking forward to it, but you know, you have to make the most of it. We decide we're going to leave Jamaica and go to the north. We'll just have to deal with what we have to deal with. So anyway, I know that it's been a little while and I just wanted to let you know it's just because I'm unplugging a bit, plugging out as we say, right? Plug out and just take a little breaks and I'm back. So today what I want to do is I want to read, I had kind of let this go as well. I was reading some stories from the book The Hero of Fern Gully by Basil Kong and Glenn Laman, and there's one story in there that really caught my eye today, and I just wanted to share it with you with this beautiful backdrop. So that's what I'm going to do. So, and then you know, I get the little vibes that you guys just want to see footage of Jamaica. I know that. So you know, hey, I'm going to have to make some more trips to Jamaica for all you know, so that one can see what you want to see. But for now, we're going to share some of the wonderful stories from Mr. Glenn Laman and Basil Kong and enjoy what our fellow Jamaicans are creating, because there's so many talented Jamaicans. It's unreal, like in sports and in arts and just in general. Like you guys know the drill, man. Everywhere you look, you see a talented Jamaican rising to the top of their endeavor, whatever it is that they're doing, wherever they are in the world. So we're a class act, Jamaicans, and so it's good for us to share each other's work and to big each other up whenever we get the opportunity. So I'm going to try and find a spot here. I don't have my stand or anything, so I'm going to have to figure out camera, book, whatnot. So bear with me, but I hope you enjoy the story. I can also share with you some of the footage as I find my spot. So we just missed a rower going by. Every morning I notice that this rowing team passes by, so hopefully there'll be more of them. But it's such a beautiful spot. And my nephew tells me that there's some little alligators in that bush, where the bush is. And I haven't seen any. And I said, so I can't jump off into the water? And say, yes, of course, because I'm more afraid of we than I'm afraid of them. So I haven't really risked that yet. But I do see a whole ton of people swimming and skiing and, you know, having fun out here. And it's, you'll soon see, it's a wide open, this is a lake. And it is, oh, here come the rowers, guys. You're going to get to see the rowers. This is awesome. So yeah, I'm going to read to you from Glenn Laman, Tales from Fern Gully too. But why not share the view as well? Bonus. There he's rowing by. Looks like a great sport. The other day I came out here and I got some photographs of, it was just like there were some beautiful clouds in the sky, and it was the perfect time of day. The water was still, the sun was shining, and so I got some beautiful mirror image photos, and I'm going to share them right here for you as well. Don't know if you can see the sky. There he is. But it's so pretty here. And the sounds, you hear them? Well, I'm going to start reading it now. Hope you enjoy the story, guys. Alright, so as I promised, I'm going to read you a story from Glenn Laman and Basil Kong's book, The Hero of Fern Gully. And this story is called A House for Mattie by Glenn Laman. and he wrote a note before the story, which I think I should really share with you so that you get the full picture of what this is all about. So his note is that there was a time when the housing landscape in Jamaica was replete with unfinished houses. These were not abandoned structures. Jamaica was with limited funds often built what they could afford. They planned to add on more rooms as funds became available. They would occupy 1 or 2 of completed rooms with the rest of the structure under construction. This situation would last not for months, but sometimes decades. In A House for Mattie, which is the story I'm going to read to you, we are given a look at some of her struggles in her quest and can share her joy when her dream is realized. So, A House for Mattie. It's market day and another beautiful day in the garden parish of St. Anne. Several white clouds drifted easily across the azure sky in the village of Silver Grove, some 10 miles from the north coast, almost 2,000 feet above sea level. Not far from Mattie's gate, farmers haul produce to market on donkeys and dray carts pulled by mules on the unpaved gravel road. Inside her gate, on the 1-acre sloping property, workers lay cinder blocks for a new house. In her yard, a cackling hen announces that she has just laid an egg. 2 goats snack on the succulent, multicolored leaves of a croton plant. Mattie hangs freshly washed clothes to dry on the clothesline that stretched from her old house to a large mango tree in the yard. A small black and white dog barks at the passing donkeys and mules while workers mix and pour concrete for the foundation of her house. Mattie's outdoor kitchen had collapsed years ago. She had given up cooking by firewood, so she now uses a small kerosene tabletop stove. The outdoor toilet and latrine was a short walk down and away from the old house. Water was stored in several recycled oil drums beside the old house. She had no electricity, and lighting was provided by kerosene lamps. Mattie picks up a shirt from her basket to hang on the line. "Simeon, go see if you can find the egg. One of the fowl them just late. Look under the cellar first. You know them love to hide the egg from we." "Yes, Grams," replied the skinny little boy. "If you see Molly in the back, tell her I need her to run to Mr. Cigar shop and buy some flour and rice for dinner." "She gone over Aunt Sissy house to play, Grams," replied Simeon. "Well, after you find the egg, go tell her to come home." Suddenly there's a huge commotion at the front gate. 2 men in red shirts are blocking the workmen from entering the work site. "What is your problem? You know, see we trying to work here," exclaimed one of the workmen. "Stop, Taratid, stop! We're not allowing this construction. This a fiwi land," shout the man in the red shirts. "Miss Maggie, beg you come talk to them, man, yeah." Mattie rushes over to the gate. "What the backside do not do to me gate? Go make me go on bad here," says Mattie in a loud voice. The red-shirted men stand their ground and are blocking the men from moving bags of cement from a van to the house. They hold long sticks in a menacing manner. A crowd quickly gathers at Mattie's gate. A man on a bicycle dismounts and tries to get around the crowd. Mattie recognizes this man and approaches him. "Mr. Joe, beg you go get the police. Them man here cause trouble." "Okay, Miss Mattie, me soon come." Mr. Joe rides off on his bicycle. Mattie is shaking and her heart is beating rapidly, wondering how could this embarrassing situation come about. This new house is to replace the existing Watland Daub house, which her family had owned going back into the 1800s. For many years, her mother had lived and died in the old house. Her 3 children and 3 grandchildren were also born there, but everything is now falling apart. Whenever it rains, the thatch roof would leak. The walls are worn thin in places, and she's afraid that if nothing is done soon, they'll be sleeping outdoors. Her firstborn son, Dwight, had gone to America on farm work and is sending money back. Simone, her daughter, and her 3 children live with her, as did her son Carl, who is learning to be a mechanic. Mattie had been saving all her life for this house, but the money from her banana and coffee sales are barely enough to keep food on the table. Occasionally she would sell her chickens, pigs or goats, and sometimes even eggs to raise cash. This part of the parish is very fertile. Simone and Carl are always busy planting and helping her with the crops. Anything they plant would grow easily, and 1-acre plot is now full of trees, fruit trees of every kind: oranges, tangerine, Otaheite apples, guava, coffee, cocoa, naseberry, June plum, star apple, custard apple, coconut, tamarind, avocado, papaw, you name it, grow on her property. Laying the foundation of her new house is a long-time dream come true. She's beginning to feel, at last, that her lifelong struggles are coming to an end. Mattie had met disappointment early in life when the father of her children abandoned her for another woman. Neighbors had told her that he suddenly found religion and married his new lover. Some say he married her because she's a lighter skin than Mattie, who has a very black complexion. Mattie, however, pressed on and raised her children by herself, and with Dwight now in a position to help make her dream of a new home come true, she could see the light at the end of her long tunnel. The police arrive and interrupt her reverie. They instruct the red shirt men to cease and desist. The red shirt men walk away angrily shouting, "It not over yet. We nah go away." This brought a temporary relief to Mattie, but she was not at ease. What is she going to do about these men? She had heard that her father was involved in many sexual liaisons with several women in the village. It wouldn't surprise her if the red shirt men were indeed his sons. She wonders if there are several more to come out of the woodwork and lay claim to the property. A month later, all the walls of the house in place, plumbing work underway, and the materials for the roof are in the driveway. The plan is to finish 2 rooms with the money she's saving, so that she and her children will have a place to live. Slowly but surely, as more money comes in, she will continue to add other rooms, and eventually the whole house will be completed. The workers are wiring the house for electricity, and she plans to build a water storage tank. However, that will also have to wait. Like wildfire, the story of the work-stopping commotion in front of her house this morning spreads through the community. It's the most excitement the town has had in years since Errol Parker stole Ricky Jones' goat. The villagers fan the incident with more rumours, speculation and misinformation. "Me did hear say Mattie almost have a heart attack when it happened," said one woman to another. "You mean she might have to share up that property with the man them? Where them come from?" "I'm Monique them born, but then just moved here a few months ago." "Mattie father did have sold some wild oats all over the place, eh? Possession is 9/10 of the law though. Me not think them have any claim. Me wonder if her father did leave any will." 2 months later, Mattie officially moves in to her half-finished house. 2 bedrooms are usable, as is the kitchen. Her bed is made up with good sheets that she barely uses. The kitchen is nice and spacious, replete with a new propane gas stove from America, which she was happy to receive from her son in America. No more kerosene fumes. "God bless America," she exclaimed, as she lit the first flame under the pot of coffee in celebration of her new stove. Mattie sips her coffee and puts her feet on her new hassock. Feeling content, she begins to reminisce about her son Dwight. He was a bright boy, but was always giving trouble at school. He talked back to the teacher, and he was often disruptive in class and never interested in schoolwork. Once, when a teacher tried to discipline him with a leather belt, he grabbed the belt out of the teacher's hand. She smiles and shakes her head at that memory. He was offered a half scholarship to a high school in Kingston, but I could not afford it. When they approached his father, he offered no assistance. Dwight simply left school when his primary school education was over. He never seemed disappointed, as he was more mechanically inclined and preferred working on cars than doing homework. To make money and stay busy, Dwight did odd jobs fixing cars and helping people with repairs around their homes. The source of income was sporadic and left him in a feast or famine existence. One day a friend told him that they were recruiting workers for farms in Florida. He applied, although he had no experience farming and did not like farm work. To his surprise, he was accepted, and he passed the medical test with flying colors. Farm work did not agree with Dwight. After a couple of months, he defected from the farm program and found his way to New York. When Mattie had started noticing that her old house was falling apart, a sense of fear and anxiety came over her, and every day she would notice further evidence of deterioration. When Dwight started to send money from America, she was so relieved and always sang his praises to friends and family. She didn't hear from him for months and was worried sick that some disaster had overtaken him. Luckily, Dwight managed to send word with someone that he would write soon. Having gone AWOL from the farm program, he had to keep a low profile until he could legalize his status in America. In New York, once his legal issues were resolved, Dwight put his mechanical skills to work and soon had his own thriving foreign car repair business. This was how he was able to send some money to his mother every month. Mattie was so proud of him. Mattie grows pensive as she reflects on the host of problems she had to get where she is now. The first contractor she hired disappeared with her money after doing very little work. One supplier demanded payment of the full invoice even though she made a deposit of 50%. It was his word against hers as the receipt he gave her did not show the correct balance. One morning she would discover that thieves had raided the worksite and made off with the bags of cement and rods of steel. "You think it easy?" Maggie spoke out loud. "But I give thanks." She raises her hand above her head in supplication to the Lord. Mattie smiles as she remembers the small feast she put on to celebrate her new home. There were several temporary wood fireplaces set up in her yard with large pots cooking bananas, dumpling, and yellow yam. Rice was cooking in large black pots with 3 legs. 2 wide, oversized Dutch pots were cooking curry goat. Several women helped with cooking and serving. Her daughter Joni was mixing a large container of wash, a version of lemonade made with Seville orange and dark sugar. Someone had brought a load of jelly coconut on a donkey, drawn dray, and a young man was busy cutting them open with a machete. Outside the house, under a mango tree, several men were drinking jelly coconuts, while one man with a bottle of white rum was busy pouring rum into their coconuts. The servers started dishing out curry goat and rice. People grabbed their plates and utensils as a line formed. Mattie showed off her modern house with indoor plumbing and kitchen to several women. A few months later, the 2 red-shirt men who had laid claim to her property have disappeared. She had sought advice from the local school principal. He initiated a review of the court records, which revealed that the house belonged to her mother and not her father. It was her mother who had paid the taxes year after year and eventually had the title transferred to her name. The red-shirt men had no case. What a day of rejoicing that was. The principal asked the 2 men to come and see him. When they did, he explained the situation and asked them to apologize to Mattie. They did, and everyone shook hands and vowed to help each other as they were siblings. Mattie sips the last of her coffee and gazes out of her kitchen window while a hen cackles to announce the arrival of another egg. Outside, a lone goat is feeding on the leaves of the croton plant. And that's the end of A House for Miss Mattie. And I think that's a really lovely story. I don't know about you guys. And The Hero of Fern Gully is the book that these stories are available in. You can get them on Amazon. And yeah, support Mr. Laman and Mr. Kong and enjoy the rest of those stories. They're so lovely, and I will be reading more of them in the future because Mr. Laman has given me full permission to read all of them if I so choose. So enjoy. And now I'm going to show you a little of what's around me again. I really enjoy these stories, and I am so blessed to be able to read them and to share them with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed listening, and I hope you're enjoying this beautiful view, and I will see you on the next video. Please share these with your friends and family. Might have some younger children. You can just play the story for them and let them hear it, and you know, reconnect them with Jamaican roots if they're not in Jamaica at the moment. And please subscribe, you know, give me a thumbs up and comment and talk about the things in the story that really resonated with you, because I'm sure that there's a lot of nuggets in there that resonate with all of us. And have an amazing day wherever you are, or evening, and one love, guys. I'll see you on the next video.